Hey nerds, welcome to Jared Bear Reacts. Today is not a reaction. It's that time again. This is going to be the season 2 recap. Just a heads up, this is going to be a lot of rambling. The last one was like 25 minutes. Hopefully I can get this one shorter. Maybe. You'll see the timestamp. I have no clue going into this. Hopefully it's shorter. I have some talking points basically that I want, like things that I want to touch on over the course of it. So to recap season 2, we have just the major points. And then we'll get into our memorial in memoriam. And then our very prestigious, critically acclaimed award show for our favorite moments. And then the burning questions. Well, actually, I think there's like one or two, maybe, possibly. Hopefully, probably. You've been looking for the best name, got me. It's not the order that goes in. Real quick, before we get into it, because it's funny. See how this is like starting to split on my beard? I like separated my beard into 2 different strands, and I was bored. I was sitting here bored at work, and I tried to braid my beard and realized that no, I just don't know how to do that, and it's not working. I've braided hair before, right? I braided an ex's hair, but like a very simplistic braid, nothing crazy. But like this, something about it. Maybe because it's like, you know, there's back here, and then there's right. Anyways, you get the point. So. All right, let's get into it, man. This is about to be nutty. First of all, season 2, I enjoyed it. We'll get to what I want to talk about just now in just a second. So if you guys are new here, feel free to subscribe for daily content. If there's a day, there is a reaction, right? Also, links to everything in the description box for the Patreon, Twitch stream, all the good stuff. You will have a normal reaction today. There will not be an episode today. The recaps are in place of that. It gives me time to also get rid of the blocks and get them scheduled out. So nothing today, but we'll pick it back up tomorrow. So all right, our major points, okay? Because remember when season 1 ended, Katherine shows up, right? She shows up at the house, the old switcheroo, cuts off Johnny Gilbert Lightbulb Head's fingers, stabs him. Hello, John. Bye, John. Rest in peace. Except he doesn't die. So starting off this season, that's the major plot point. And the cool thing with this is it picks up right where season 1 left off. There's no major time gap. It picks right up. So while there is a giant cliffhanger, it still goes right back into the action from another like perspective. So the season starts off with that. It also starts off with so Elena walks in the house, sees Johnny, he's laying there, and then it leads to a small mini, not an altercation or a Katherine just sees Elena, right? And then she get the fucks about the house. It also has Connie, our beloved Caroline, is in the hospital because fucking bitch face had a brain stroke and he heard the sirens. So he crashes, and then obviously Johnny Numbnuts got his hand cut off. We already talked about that. So with that happening, Papa Mayer's dead, okay? And we get our first like important new character into the show being Mason. Which is weird because I don't hate Mason, right? He did shitty things, but I didn't hate the character. He's looking for the dragon scale talisman, right? He wants to go Dragon Tales. He's trying to go to Neverland Ranch, and he's trying to find this, but we don't really know why. And the evolution of his character, as I go through like these episode plot points, we'll get to. So Katherine, Catalina Wine Mixer, tries to seduce Damon. They're about to get some sweet vamp banging on. And then Damon asks a question. Ruin the whole mood. Buzzkill. Nada. Episode 1 ended with Damon snapping Jeremy's neck, right? He saw the ring. He saw the eternity ring. Snapped him up. Or he didn't see it, actually. Sorry. Did he see the ring? No. No, he didn't. And then Kat took a trip to Caroline and turned her ass into a vampire. That leads us to Vampire Connie, which is something I wasn't on board for at first. I wasn't. And, she grew on me quickly, like very, like rapidly, okay? This leads into some high school interactions. There's some arm wrestling, test of strength. Damon's trying to figure out if Mason's supernatural. There's something off about him. He's not a vampire. What is he? In this same episode, we get introduced to Carter, right? And poor Carter, man. Dude, he comes in, he kind of swoons Bonnie a little bit, and then he gets beat up by 2 heads of a fucking Cerberus dog. And he gets killed by Connie, which is actually a full day because he interacted with a witch, a puppy, and a bat. he interacted with all three of those things in one day. So I guess Carter, if anybody, had the full he had the full experience. Bitchface finds the Moonstone, right, in his dad's little secret lock thing under the floorboard, and he wants to get some answers from Mason. Stefan calms down Caroline in the bathroom, kind of talks to her a little bit, which gives us our first little moment of them two together, which I really, really enjoy. All of their interactions, the entire thing. It ends up, Bonnie sets Damon on fire. That happened. Matt confronts Connie, and we start to get our first little glimpse at that possible relationship. And it's one of the only episodes that ends on like a very like calm and nice note, which is them at the top of the Ferris wheel saying it's not gonna get easier. So, I mean, over the course of this season, man, we had a lot of Stefan and Connie. Mason, Bing Bam Bop, come to find out he's a werewolf. Werewolves are a thing in this show, which, again, as I talked about in some of the reactions, we kind of figured was going to happen because we had the full moon, right? We had those things going on. Caroline. Oh, okay. Wait. I skipped a whole bunch of things. Katherine starts using Connie to get information, making Caroline narc, bro, making her get secret info on Stefan and Elena, causing them to do a fake breakup. Little, if I say I don't want to talk to you anymore, it secretly means I love you. Well, if I say raw, that just means I love you and dinosaur. And it's like, all right, we got that going on, which leads to Mason narking, bro, straight up. Look, Damon was doing all this shit in a game of charades, right? He was like doing shit. What was it? Dances with Wolves. He was doing those different things during those, and Mason's like, "Look, bro, I'm not your enemy." They shook hands, and then Damon fucking stabbed him with silver. Doesn't affect him. Spoiler alert. So now Stefan's got to play good brother. Comes and talks to Mason, and he's like, "Hey, bro, it is what it is." Mason's like, "All right, cool." Then he goes and narcs to Liz. Straight up narcs. Leads to a 2v1 situation. And then they shoot him with fucking with wooden bullets. Put him down in the fucking Lockwood cellar. And, well, we get one of my favorite moments of the entire season. And that is Caroline kicking Mason's ass. Killing some deputies. And then hitting us with the, "Hi, Mom." By far one of the best moments in the entire show so far. Mason's in love with Katherine. We found that out. He's doing that shit for her. Stefan goes down into a well of her vein like a goober. While on the flip, he's torturing young Mason. All right, we're fast forwarding here a little bit. We got Mason in the torture rack. Mason he was like, "I didn't expect to see you guys anywhere." And it's like, "Ha, you fucked up, bud." So he's got him in the torture chair. We figure out Wolfsbane's a thing. Rubs it on him. And then rips his fucking heart out. Rest in peace, Mason. It is what it is. Again, despite being a dick, I didn't hate him. Kat makes Jenna stab herself. And then told Matt he has to fight Tyler until Tyler kills him, basically. Because at a party, wait, that hasn't happened yet. No. Look at me. I'm all over the place. Told you, rambling. Get to the party. We have a masquerade. We got a masquerade event. We get some Batman and Robin, Stefan and Damon action. They fully planned and conspired against Katherine because she wants the Moonstone, and they have it. She kills Amy, breaks her spine, and then her whole body. In that order. Connie does a little bit of voodoo, locks her into a room, and then we get a full-on fight between Stefan and Damon versus Katherine. Not gonna lie, Katherine held her own, but just as Damon was about to get the kill he so rightfully deserves, "Stop. Everything you're doing's also hurting Elena." Jeremy comes and saves the day. Jeremy, over the course of this season, becomes a tech guru. They're all like, "Well, I wonder how this shit works." And he's like, "Well, I fucking binged it because we don't have the money for Google. And this is what I found out." So they put a spell on it. Bonnie runs into a witch named Lucy. Bunch of spells going on, right? And the second she handed over the Moonstone, they were able to get her, put her ass into the Tomb of Doom. And Damon's the one that closes the tomb, man. Closes the tomb. We got our first little signs of Johnny, a.k.a. Jeremy and Bonnie. It's good shit. Elena gets abducted at the end of the Masquerade. She gets taken, right? I don't know when in the show it happens because Mason's already gone, but Bitchface kind of learns about some of the information, right? About werewolves and what happens if you turn, and I can make sure I never kill anybody. And there's the scare of the girl falling down the steps. So Matt goes to fight Tyler against his will, and kind of Connie breaks it up, and then by accident he pushes a girl. Her neck fucking bends around the table. Murder's all she wrote. Down goes Frasier. And there's the kill. Tyler's now a wolf. All he has to do is wait to change. So once the abduction comes in, introduce 2 new characters. We get Trevor and Rose, who have been around for a long ass time. And this leads to even bigger things because we found out that Katerina Petrova has been on the run. But from who? The big bad wolf. Kind of. He ain't there yet. Get our first hints of Klaus and the originals. Brothers show up, try to save Elena. Guess who gets there first? The OG suit-wearing mother lover, Mr. Eli himself, Elijah. Not Elijah, Elijah with the J. And we get another one of my favorite moments. He smacked the holy fuck out of Trevor. His head went rolling. Smacked it. God damn. It shows us power. It shows us strength. All this stuff happens, and Rose dips, and they end up stabbing Eli up against the wall. Original dead, just like that, except he's not. Damon gives a heartwarming speech to Elena, and then he has to mind wipe her. Isabel's back. Actually, the note I have here is that here's what it says. Damon, heartwarming speech, Isabel Alaric. This was me panic typing. So he gives a speech to Elena and has to mind wipe her, similar to how Isabel did with Alaric. Also, Isabel comes back into the show in a couple episodes. We learn about the curse of the sun and the moon, Aztec shamans. If the vampires break the curse, then they no longer have to worry about the sun. Werewolves are stuck on their thing forever. If werewolves break the curse, they can turn freely. Vampires stay the way that they've been. So yeah. But all that shit's a lie, by the way. It's not true. We spend like 5 to 10 episodes talking about the curse of the sun and the moon. Shit's not even real. It's just a curse on Klaus, preventing him from becoming a full-blown werewolf because bitch is a hybrid. Yeah. Yeah, he's both. He swings both ways, baby. My man's both, brother. So, anyways, Damon and Rose got a little friends with benefit thing going on. They're kind of like back and forth. Maggie Green, shout out Walking Dead. God, I love her. She's so cute. They're cute together, by the way. Damon and Rose, I could buy into it. We meet Wiki at a coffee shop. I don't remember his actual name. We get another amazing scene of Eli throwing some fucking quarters through the glass, ruining that whole thing. We learn that it's just UV rays from the sun that affect vampires. It's very important because they had some fucking decked out windows. We also meet Dr. Martin and Luca. And they say that we don't like to be called witches. We prefer the term warlocks. And I haven't heard the warlock term since. And all of you on YouTube are like, they don't ever use that shit again. So rest in peace, the War Lucas. They met him at some point. Everything's kind of a blur. Come to find out, in order to break the curse of the sun and the moon, or just to break this curse in general, we need Elena for the sacrifice. We need a werewolf. We need a vampire. And we need a witch. And a doppelganger, which Elena is the doppelganger to Katerina Petrova. So Eli strikes a deal, right, to keep all of Elena's loved ones safe because Elena has to die. So Santa Claus will be weak, and so Eli can kill him. It's the whole thing. He wants to kill Klaus. And Elena's kind of come to terms like, okay, I'm okay with dying. As long as my friends are safe, I can protect everybody around me. During this time, they go out a couple times in a fucking cabin. We learn a lot of information about Stefan's past life. He's something called a Ripper, which we get full information about. Jeremy goes to this tomb where Katherine's at like a fucking goober because he wants to get the stone. He does get the stone because he's got an eternity ring, which leads to Stefan having to save him. Now Stefan's in the tomb with Katherine. She's playing my games, but guess what? Bing, bam, bop. By the way, did I mention Eli's alive? I forgot to mention that. Bitch can't die. He's alive. He came back. So strike another deal. after the death, and Eli's like, all right, I'll get Stefan out of the tomb. Come to find out, he can compel vampires. He can compel lesser vampires. He compels Stefan to stay. There's the note about Tyler killing a girl. His dumbass is a wolf. That's my note. Him and Caroline end up together about some point in the show. That's all we're talking about. I really don't care. Jules comes into town, and guess who comes with Jules, basically? The green fucking arrow. The green arrow's here. Jules comes in. She gets pissed off. They try to roofie her. It doesn't happen. She ends up biting Rose. Legend has it werewolf bites are fatal to a vampire, except they don't explode. They just fester and die over time, and they have dementia, and that shit was awful. They got to find a cure, and they can't, which leads to the Damon and Rose scene, which is the best thing I've seen in this show so far. A very tender, warming moment of a beautiful, heartbreaking kill that could easily draw a tear. And it almost did. It almost got me. I stayed pretty composed, though. John Gilbert comes back. He's a fucking turd. His fingers are sewed back on. He does some good things, some bad things. He ends up sacrificing himself through a witch spell so Elena can live in the fucking tribute or sacrifice, whatever. Connie gets captured by the Green Arrow. She gets tortured because the girl can't catch a fucking break. She gets shot right in the face and gets tortured with a squirt gun. They have this big fucking brawl of... first of all, Stefan was trying to talk to Tyler, and he's like... Bleh. So they go out to the trailer park in the woods and have this fight scene. They take turns. They're fucking killing people. Tyler frees Connie, but then does nothing else, and leads to Dr. Martin walking through like Christ himself, putting everybody to sleep. It's a pretty cool scene. They invite Elijah to dinner. Elijah's like, hey, bitch, just to let you know, if you do anything stupid, I will kill everybody in this house, and I won't blink twice. Because you see, Johnny Gilbert gave Damon a dagger that is said to kill the originals if dipped in the ashes of a white oak tree dating back to that time. Well, what he didn't tell him is it would also kill Damon, which Alaric finds out, gives a little 411. And it leads to, during the middle of a conversation with Andy. Hi, Andy. Fucking kills him. Rick kills Elijah. But here's the thing. He doesn't stay dead because you got to keep that shit in. They pulled it out. Don't pull out. It's just better if you don't. Leave that shit in. So he kills him. Dr. Martin is like, they had this whole thing in the woods, right? Elena basically cons Elijah into getting stabbed yet again. This time they have to leave the dagger in. Dagger's in there. It's not going nowhere. Green Arrow dies. Stephen Amell, rest in peace. So now Elijah's died like 18 times in 3 episodes. Where am I at? Dr. Martin sends his son into the house to retrieve the dagger through psychic waves, and he ends up getting his son killed. He gets fucking burnt to a crisp, which leads to Dr. Martin dying eventually too. Klaus takes control of Alaric's body through a spell, so we get a bunch of that. The amazing acting, by the way. Damon is just having his way with Andy. He's just biting her and drinking her blood and shit. Eventually, Klaus comes back into his own skin after Bonnie fakes her own death, right? So he thinks that the witch is dead, and because she's like the secret weapon to kill Klaus. Elena ends up finding another way, right? We can't have Bonnie die. We'll find another way. Removes the fucking dagger from Eli, and now he's back. Another deal has been stricken, and he has a magic potion that'll keep her alive. But they don't do that because Damon, on an impulse, bites herself, feeds her. And now Elena's going to be a vampire, except she's not. So they have this whole last day thing. She's like, I don't want to be a vampire. I want to grow out. I want to make my own decisions. And that accent was terrible. Psych, basically, on that one. The ritual happens. They're like, we thought we were going to use Damon as the tribute. Instead, Katherine lures Jenna, wholesome-ass Jenna, out and gets her turned into a vampire. In the 2 best episodes, in my opinion, Stefan tries to swap places. Klaus just finds the beauty in the poetry and the symbolism of the 3 women, the 3 beautiful women. So he kills Jules, he kills the werewolf, and then he kills Jenna. Rest in peace to the aunt, mommy, parental guardian. Alaric now has a dead wife and a dead girlfriend. Also, Isabel came back for a little bit. I forgot to mention that. She double-crossed Katherine, ripped off her necklace, burst into flames in the middle of the sun in a fucking cemetery. So the ritual goes through, and Klaus has his way. He kills everybody he needs to kill. He thinks he's killed Elena, and while he's transforming into a werewolf, while he's having his moment at the weakest, Bonnie comes up as an cintos, puts him down, and guess who shows up? It's Eli. And he's like, Niklaus Michelson. My name's Elijah. And as he goes to kill him, Klaus is like, I can tell you where our family is. They're not spreading sea. I have them. So Eli picks him up. They get away. Those brothers are gone. Elena comes back to life. Eli turned on him. Fast forward, Klaus forces Stefan to drink blood after blood after blood, because what had happened is Tyler, during this full moon thing was going on, he bites Damon. Bitchface bites Damon. So now Damon's dying. They got to get a cure. Come to find out, the only cure is Klaus's blood because he's a hybrid. He bites Katherine to show that it works, and then he gives some blood to Stefan, but what he has to pay up is Stefan's camaraderie, basically. So Stefan drinks all the blood, going back into Ripper mode, and Elena gives a little smooch to Damon, a little smoochy smooch, and Klaus frees Katherine, who he's had compelled this whole time. So Katherine actually comes and saves the day for Damon. Liz shoots Jeremy in the chest point blank with a fucking bullet. Jeremy dies. Bonnie's got to bring him back to life. Shout out the Johnny relationship. Matt, I forgot all about this. Matt finds out about Connie's truth. Liz slipped himself her vein. He narked a little bit. Kind of ends the Matt and Caroline relationship, which leads to Jeremy getting shot. Bonnie brings him back to life and brings Jeremy back to life. And now Jeremy sees dead people. And that's how it ended. So we get the ending of that relationship, even though I felt like it was going right back. We had Caroline singing, which was a beautiful moment. Her voice is gorgeous. Everybody was saying that was actually hers. And I just feel like that was the entire season. And we're at 23 minutes. I ain't even fucking finished yet. So let's wrap this up. That's the whole second season in 20 minutes, basically. If I missed something, my bad. A lot of rambling just now. My in memoriam here, if I forget somebody's name, that's on me. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But Jenna hurt. Jenna gets her own, as does Rose. Rose, you were a beautiful character. It just worked. I think Damon and Andy also work. But Jenna just took on a massive responsibility. I remember Coach Tanner giving her shit in like the third episode. And she took on a huge responsibility while being in college, while taking care of these two kids. And I think she did the best to her ability. And then we lose Rose, who was just trying to live a good life. And I think she had the most beautiful death possible. Rest of the people on here. So we have Jenna, Rose, Elijah with the wood plank, right? Caroline, the time she got shot in the face, don't worry, she comes back. Mason, rest in peace, Mason. I enjoyed your character. Yeah. Jerry, the police officer that Jules killed, fucking cubic zirconium. Elijah with the dagger. Green Arrow. Wikipedia. Elijah with the dagger again. Trevor. Carter at the carnival. Amy. Rest in peace, Amy. Rest in peace, the girl that Tyler killed. I forgot her name. Not that important. Johnny Gilbert. Rest in peace, Johnny Gilbert. Remember Bonnie? Bonnie got all the powers of the dead witches. I didn't mention that. Johnny Gilbert. Rest in peace, I guess. But I don't know. You're all right. Luca, you're just trying to do good, kid. Man, you tried your best. Rest in peace, bro. Honestly. Dr. Martin, I don't really care. You had a hell of a lot of powers, but you kind of got your son killed, brother. Isabel, I'll give you a rest in peace. Jules, I don't care. Rest in peace. The whole puppy gang, rest in peace. Jeremy getting his neck snapped and then shot in the chest, but he's back. Alaric died a couple times. And Elijah, by the way, who has a dagger in him right at this moment, because Elijah or Klaus turned on Elijah at the end, fucking faked him out, put him in a coffin. He's got a whole warehouse full of his family. And then I didn't mention this previously. I didn't mention this in the first recap memoriam. Zach from season 1. I don't think I mentioned him. Zach, you deserve better. So everybody on the list, even the ones that I don't care about, rest in peace. Season 2 deaths, I'm not counting those up. That's a lot. Now for my favorite stuff, right? This is how we're going to end it. Favorite episode, I have 2. Episode 8 with Rose. Rose's introduction. I really enjoyed that. The episode where Rose dies, too, is a really good one. The Descent, I think was the name of that one. Episode 21 was also really fucking wild bonkers. Those are my... If I had to pick a favorite episode, I'd have to pull those. Most heartbreaking scene, I feel like Jenna's right there, but obviously Damon killing Rose. Yeah. My favorite scenes. I actually have a handful of favorite scenes. I can't really pick one. Elijah breaking the glass was really cool with the quarters. But Damon talking to Elena and then wiping her mind was very powerful. Caroline's, "Hi, Mom," was top tier shit. Those are probably my favorite scenes in the entire thing. They're really good. Favorite kiss was Elena's small smooch to Damon when she thought he was dying. It was wholesome. Favorite kill was Elijah smacking the dog shit out of Trevor. I don't think anything's gonna top that. I mean, he did wreck a bunch of people. He wrecked the whole fucking wolf gang in the house. But favorite character would be probably right now would be Elijah, because we didn't get a whole bunch of Klaus. Klaus ended up being my favorite. Probably Elijah or Rose is my favorite character from that season. I still really like Rick, but Elijah and Rose for sure. Favorite relationship? I'm going Johnny, bro. Jeremy and Bonnie, kick rocks and everything else. I feel like there's other topics I did last time that I'm not remembering, but the last question before we end it is, which team am I on? Team Edward or Team Jacob? Team Stefan or Team Damon? I'm probably at this point right now, because nothing else has really changed my opinion on it, I'm going to stick with Team Stefan. Granted, Steph has been keeping a lot of secrets. He has a lot of fucking secrets out there that we don't know about. Damon's been more so open, but at the same time, he still throws his little bitch fits. He throws these little tantrums where something doesn't go his way. He goes and takes control over somebody, or he goes on his killing spree. But he's very impulsive. And for the most part, he trusts his gut instinct. It doesn't always work out in his favor, but still. I'm still probably going to go Team Stefan right now. But I don't think that question really matters. Because overall, I enjoyed the second season. Do I like the second season and the first season better? I'll probably say the first season, just because I really love getting to know characters and learning everybody. This one was like the meat and potatoes. The first one is just like, hey, we're going to make those meat and potatoes. The meat's on the grill. Potatoes are cooking. This was actually getting into eating, you know? That's a weird analogy, but it's used a lot. So that I kind of like the first season better. The ending to this season, the last shot of Jeremy seeing dead people was cool, but the ending to season 1 was a lot better. I loved episode 20 and 21, and that's just kind of my my little take on it. That's my soft recap. That is my little award ceremony, my in memoriam. And like I said, we're gonna do this for everything. I'm gonna end this around 30 minutes. Jesus Christ! So if you're somebody that watches this whole thing, I love you. So I gotta stream. That's what I'm about to do right now. I'm 5 minutes late. I just bit my tongue. So that's what I think. Again, granted, if we have different opinions, if you like something better than something else, trust me, I'm all about that. It's cool. If you have your own favorite ships, I like that shit. If there's people in the show you're shipping that's not even really together, it's fucking awesome, dude. I just feel bad for Rick. He lost his wife. He lost his girlfriend. And I feel pretty bad for him, you know? So far, the only thing that hasn't changed, in my opinions, is I still don't fuck with Tyler. And yes, it still has everything to do with the Vicky situation. And a lot of people are like, what about Damon? I'm like, hey, bro, vampires are supernatural beings that have a history of seducing and doing that type of thing. Does it make it okay? No, it doesn't fucking make it okay. Tyler, when he's first introduced, is a character based in reality. He's based as a human, and that's an entire fucking culture out there that's not okay. And I just don't have any respect for somebody that tries to do that. He's not doing supernatural abilities to seduce. He's not trying to feed blood or feed on them. He's trying to rape a girl in the woods. And I don't fuck with that. But I enjoy the actor. I don't like the character. I think that's where you guys are not understanding. I enjoy the actor playing Tyler. I don't like the character of Tyler. So there's that. And yeah. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. So links to everything in the description box. We have the Patreon if you want to get access to a private Discord, if you want early access to every video, if you want to watch these full episodes uncut that are 48 minutes to an hour long, sometimes plus, depends on how much I ramble afterwards. That's something you're into. Patreon's down there. Twitch stream 3 to 4 times a week. A lot of times we just chat. People come in and ask questions. We just hang out for a little bit, play some music. I think that's it. Social media, all the good stuff is down there. Merch site, I don't know. And playlist up on screen. As always, guys, stay cute, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to end this bitch at exactly 32 minutes.